Hello there YouTube, this is the Rogue Gem Player and coming at you with a Vampire Zombie deck profile. I thought I'd profile a new zombie deck that I've been messing with. Plus I've got some new cards, so I thought I'll take it out for a spin. Vampires have gotten a lot of support over the years. They've gotten recently a new main deck monster and a new Exceed monster, which helps the deck immensely. One for consistency, the other one just because it's another card that says we can do shit. So let's start with the low level main deck monsters. 3 copies of Vampire Familiar. This is one of your main normal summons in the deck. Well, not really main normal summons, but one of your main combo stress / search cards in the deck, followed by 3 copies of Retainer. The reason why I'm having all 3 of these two in sequence like this is because they basically do the same thing. When they're in the graveyard, you can send a vampire card to the graveyard to special summon them. They banish themselves when they leave the field this way, but the cool thing is that when they're special summoned, you pay 500 to add a respective in-themed card from deck to hand. This searches vampire monsters, this searches vampire spell and traps. So this is very important that you keep this. This is also free link material, and we have lots of ways of getting into this engine to the point where you could possibly run maybe 2 of each, but you need to play as many vampires for this next card. Vampire Ghost. Vampire Ghost is a new card from Battles of Chaos. Basically, this card says when a normal summon, you send a vampire card on the field to the graveyard except himself. He foolishes a level 2 or lower vampire and then adds a level 4 or higher vampire from deck to hand. So this allows you to instantly get into your normal summon, into your high level monsters. In addition to that, when it's in the graveyard, you banish it to double summon, which is actually quite important. And then the 1 Fraulein, 1 Shadow Vampire, and then the 1 Scarlet Scourge. These are the only vampires you really need, technically. You could play the other ones if you choose to. What makes this really important is because Ghost gives you a double summon, you can add Shadow off of it, and then if you have a double summon on board, you can summon this. And what this does is pulls any vampire from deck, and then you just summon Scarlet Scourge, which on normal or special summon you pay 1,000 to special summon to bring back a vampire. So it gives you another monster that you can link off with, which is actually pretty cool. And then Fraulein is for battle battle reasons. Also, as long as you're willing to pay life points, you will always kill something with this, and then take it, which is actually quite cool. And then for the generic zombie support, you play the 3 Unizombie, the 2 Mizuki. This is bread and butter in terms of the generic zombie support. You should always be playing these. They give you synchro plays, they give you link plays. Unizombie gets you into your engine because you can send Familiar to grave and then bring it back, as long as you've got the card, or you can send Ghost to use a double summon if you didn't draw the spell. It's actually quite cool, and so that's that stuff. And then for kind of like the remaining one-ofs, playing the 1 Glow Up Bloom, which searches out not only the high levels vampires, but also searches out your Baldrach and stuff like that. 1 Necro Banshee to search out Zombie World, Jacobolin, which is pretty cool to have, and then the 1 Doom King Baldrach. Anytime you play zombies and you have access to Zombie World, you should be playing this. It's that broken. It's another disruption that you can play once a turn, and it's just a level 8 that you can keep resurrecting. And thanks to the new Exceed monster, you can just play this and you still have access to it because the way the deck operates now. So, and then for the hand trap related stuff, it's literally probably the same hand traps you're probably used to seeing. 3 Nib and 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which are they're nothing new. This has been in every deck. Nib's still relevant. Ash is still pretty good considering. It's also a zombie, so it's a zombie tuner that you can still resurrect. For spells, 2 copies of Zombie World. This card basically plays very, very well. You can play it against Tempai because now you play this on their Tempai deck, and then all of a sudden all their direct monsters are zombies, and they're now not protected by the field spell. So, and not to mention it's very, very searchable, and then it just provides all kinds of things for you. Then the vampire related stuff, we're playing 3 copies of Vampire Domain. The purpose of this card is not the life gain effect, it's the double summon effect. If you play this correctly, you can actually use Domain with Ghost, and now all of a sudden you can double summon the Ghost, use his effect to send Domain, and now you have a vampire in the grave to send, and then you add a vampire to hand. Now you instantly can put 2 monsters on board with not using your regular normal summon. And then once you've done that, you can it gives you all kinds of extra stuff for it. So it's actually quite important. And then we're playing the One Desire. This is mainly in here as like level modulation and other such. You can play various other Exceed monsters, but it's just another Foolish Burial, and then you can also resurrect stuff if you choose to use it that way. For traps, or sorry, the last remaining one Called By and 1 Foolish. Why not? This is another card that can get you into your engine. This is just generic anti-hand trap hate. For traps, we're playing 2 of the Domination. It's an Omni Negate. What can I say? It's also very searchable, and if you negate a monster with it, you gain that monster's attack as life, so that's a free, card. And then 3 copies of Imperm, because it's just another hand trap that we have space for. So why not? For the extra deck, it's kind of wonky per se, because it plays a secondary engine. If you want to, you can play Super Polys and play targets for it. It's completely up to you. So we'll start off the vampire related stuff. The 2 Sucker, who doesn't want to draw a free card every turn. The 1 Fascinator, which actually is pretty cool in this deck, because you can take your opponent's monster and then immediately exceed it into Sheraton or the zombie vampire with either Baldur Rock or one of the level 6s. And what this does is it gives you the ability to continue doing things, because Fascinator could also take another monster off your opponent, and then you could just take the 2 monsters and make a zombie out of it. So they're vampires that work with the sport. So, and then we're playing a couple of the zombie synchros. Immortal Dragon, because it's another card you can Foolish, kind of like a Excel Synchron in a way. And then the Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. It's a high level you can summon when Zombie World's on board. So why not? And then Dark IP, Chaos Soldier. You use one of the high levels like Baldur Rock, and you just make it immune, and Zombie World just helps with it. Princess, Access Code, Amblo Whale, Appaloosa, and then 1 copy of Omega, because why not? You want to recycle your stuff. This deck is kind of unique in a way where there's no set way of playing it, because the main combo is literally going to be one of the low levels searching you some other stuff, which is actually quite important. Which is why it helps to play the deck the way it is, which I like. It's cool. It's another one of those zombie toolbox decks that, because it plays a supplementary engine, you kind of have to work around it. But because the deck is very consistent in that way, because it has multiple Foolishes, multiple search cards, it has a way of getting into its engine without actually relying on very 2 specific cards. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, subscribe. Help me get to 100 subs, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.